If I break my leg right now in America and an ambulance comes and picks me up, it's 20,000 US dollars. If I don't have insurance, I have to cough that up. And if I can't cough that up, then I pay it like it's a car.
Is it just me, or is the cost of living getting outrageous? Healthcare, groceries, electricity, everything goes up 20% every single year.
Okay, what the fuck is going on with food right now? This is literally 93.7. It's all organic or whatever, all grass-fed for $10.49 fucking pound. That's ridiculous.
Has this ever happened to you? You wake up early, you prepare for the day, you go to work, you give your time, you give your energy, you tell yourself this is how life works. Work hard, be responsible, do the right things. But when the month ends, you check your bank balance and your heart feels heavy. You do not understand it at first because nothing looks different. You are not shopping more. You are not living fancy. You are not wasting money. Yet your savings are smaller. Your stress is bigger and your peace feels gone. You start thinking quietly. Maybe I am missing something. Maybe I am doing something wrong, but you are not alone. Millions of people feel the same pressure. They feel it at the grocery store. They feel it when paying rent. They feel it when the bills arrive. Life feels tighter. Even simple things feel expensive. Even small plans feel risky. You hear people say the economy's fine. You hear numbers on the news, but those numbers do not pay your bills. They do not explain why life feels harder. This is not about being rich. This is about surviving normally a safe home. Enough food, basic health, a little peace at the end of the day. Something has quietly changed in America. It did not happen overnight. It did not come with a warning, but it is now part of everyday life. People are tired, not because they are lazy, but because they are carrying more weight. The real cost of living is not only money, it is mental pressure. It is constant worry. It is the feeling that you can never relax. And here is the part nobody explains clearly. This situation is not accidental. It is not just bad luck. It is the result of changes most people do not see. That is why this video is important, because once you understand what is really happening, your confusion will start to make sense. The real truth is still coming. Stay with me before we continue. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, because what you are about to hear affects real life, and knowing it can help you protect your future. That heavy feeling you noticed at the start of this video is not random. It comes from the cost of living. Cost of living is not an economic buzzword. It is the price of everyday life. It is the money required just to live normally without luxury. It includes the rent that keeps a roof over your head. It includes the food that fills your kitchen. It includes electricity, water, internet, transportation, and healthcare. These are not optional expenses. They are part of daily survival, and they never stop. What makes the cost of living confusing is that it does not match what people hear on the news. You may hear reports saying things are stable, yet your wallet tells a different story. That is because the cost of living is personal. It is not an average number. It is the reality you face every day when you pay bills or buy groceries. When rent rises, food costs more, and when insurance takes a bigger part of your income, your cost of living increases even if nothing else changes. In 2025, many Americans are feeling this pressure because all the basic costs are rising together. Housing, food, healthcare, and transportation are becoming heavily affected at the same time. This is why life feels tighter even for people who work hard and follow the rules. Once you understand what cost of living really means, it becomes clear why so many people feel stressed and why the biggest expense of all deserves special attention next. Housing is the largest expense most people face every month. For many Americans, a simple apartment or small home takes up a huge part of their income. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in many cities is around $1,800 to $2,000 per month. And in major cities like New York or San Francisco, it can be more than $4,000. Buying a home is even more challenging. Median home prices across the country are now well over $400,000, making ownership feel out of reach for many hardworking families. This is why so much of monthly income goes straight to housing, leaving less for food, transportation, and savings. Housing costs alone can take 40 to 50% of a paycheck, forcing people to make sacrifices in other areas of life. The impact of high housing expenses is more than financial. It affects the way people live and plan for the future. Many delay starting a family, postpone buying a home, or move far from their workplaces just to find more affordable options. Even people earning decent salaries feel the pressure because the cost of a safe and comfortable home rises faster than wages. Investors in housing shortages make the situation even harder, and the struggle to secure a stable place to live is now a reality for millions. Understanding housing as the biggest burden helps explain why everyday life feels heavier and why so many people are quietly stretched to their limits. Food is something everyone needs, yet in 2025 groceries are becoming an increasingly heavy burden. A simple shopping trip for basic items costs far more than most people expect. Eggs, milk bread, fresh produce, and coffee have all seen steady price increases, turning a small cart into a surprisingly large expense. Families that used to manage comfortably now find their grocery bills taking up a larger portion of their monthly budget, leaving less for other necessities. This rise in food costs affects every household differently. People are forced to adjust their habits, buy fewer fresh items, switch to cheaper alternatives, or skip non-essential purchases. Even planning meals and sticking to a budget can feel like a challenge. The stress of feeding a family while keeping expenses under control adds another layer of pressure to daily life. In many cases, food costs now rival other major expenses, reminding everyone that the struggle to cover basic needs goes beyond just rent and utilities. The growing price of groceries is not just numbers on a receipt. It is a daily reality that shapes how people live, work, and plan for the future. Before we continue with the video, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments how rising costs have affected your daily life. Have you noticed changes in housing, groceries, healthcare, or transportation? Are there strategies you are using to manage your expenses that others might find helpful? We are excited to read every comment and will carefully consider your thoughts. Now let's continue and explore the full reality of living in America in 2025 and how people are adapting to these challenges. Healthcare is one of the costs that quietly takes a large portion of life in America. Even with insurance, the price of medical care can be overwhelming. Routine checkups, prescriptions, and occasional visits add up quickly. For many households, annual healthcare costs reach thousands of dollars, and monthly premiums take a steady share of income. These expenses make people think twice about visiting a doctor or buying medicine, creating constant pressure in daily life. The impact of healthcare goes beyond money. Unexpected illnesses or accidents can change financial plans instantly. Families make decisions about jobs, living arrangements, and savings based on potential medical needs. This constant background stress affects how people live and plan for the future. Understanding healthcare as a major expense explains why even responsible, hardworking people feel stretched and why daily life can feel heavier than expected. Transportation and utilities are essential parts of life, yet they quietly take a large share of monthly expenses. For people with cars, the cost of fuel, insurance, and maintenance adds up quickly, and repairs can appear unexpectedly. Even those using public transportation face steadily rising fares that make daily commuting more expensive. Utilities like electricity, water, heating, and internet are not optional, but their bills continue to grow, putting steady pressure on household budgets. These costs may seem small one by one, but together they shape the reality of everyday life. People change routines, drive less, and conserve energy, yet the expenses remain unavoidable. Rising transportation and utility costs influence how people plan their days, work schedules, and even their living arrangements. Recognizing the weight of these expenses helps explain why many households feel stretched and why balancing life and money has become increasingly difficult in 2025. Many people notice that life feels more expensive, even when official inflation reports show modest numbers. The reason is that the prices of the most essential items rise faster than the averages reported in the news. Housing, food, healthcare, and transportation take up the largest portion of income, and when these increase together, every paycheck feels smaller. People earn more, but the extra income often disappears quickly, leaving little room for savings or comfort. This gap between official inflation and daily experience creates quiet stress that affects routines, family decisions, and long-term planning. People feel the pressure of rising costs even when numbers on a chart suggest stability. Understanding why expenses feel higher than inflation reveals the full picture of life in 2025, showing why many households feel stretched despite hard work and careful planning. Even when people earn a steady income, life often feels tighter than expected. The median household income in America hovers around $80,000. But for many families, this is not enough to cover rising expenses. Rent, groceries, healthcare, transportation, and utilities take a large portion of monthly earnings, leaving little room for savings or unexpected costs. People work long hours and manage budgets carefully, yet paychecks can feel smaller each month. The gap between wages and expenses affects choices in daily life. Some delay buying a home, starting a family, or pursuing long-term goals because the extra income disappears as soon as bills are paid. Even earning above average does not guarantee financial comfort when basic costs rise faster than salaries. This imbalance is a reality for millions of Americans in 2025, and it explains why many feel stressed despite working hard. Understanding this relationship between wages and expenses is crucial to see why life feels more demanding than ever, and why careful planning is no longer optional. The idea of the American dream has always promised stability, comfort, and a chance to build a secure future. In 2025, achieving this dream feels more challenging than ever. The combined costs of housing, food, healthcare, transportation, and utilities create a lifetime of financial pressure. Even with careful planning, many people find it difficult to save for retirement, education, or emergencies. Every paycheck goes toward covering essentials, leaving little for growth or investment. This steady pressure shapes life decisions from an early age. People delay buying homes, starting families, or pursuing long-term goals because they are focused on surviving month to month. The dream of upward mobility feels slower and more uncertain as basic expenses rise faster than wages. Understanding the lifetime impact of these costs reveals why so many Americans feel financial stress despite working hard, and why achieving the traditional vision of success requires more effort and planning than ever before. Faced with rising costs, many Americans are finding new ways to adjust and manage their finances. Some are moving to smaller homes or more affordable neighborhoods to reduce housing expenses. Others are cutting back on non-essential purchases and planning meals carefully to control grocery costs. Many households are choosing energy-efficient solutions, using public transportation when possible, or consolidating errands to save on fuel and reduce wear on their vehicles. People are also finding ways to protect their health without overspending. Preventive care, telemedicine, and generic medications are helping families manage healthcare costs while maintaining safety and wellness. Technology and budgeting tools allow households to track spending and make informed decisions. Despite the challenges, these adaptations show resilience. Americans continue to find balance, prioritize what matters most, and make their resources work harder. Understanding these strategies highlights the creativity and determination people use to survive and thrive in an increasingly expensive world. The reality of living in America in 2025 is clear. Rising costs touch every part of daily life, from housing and food to healthcare and transportation. Even hardworking families with steady incomes feel the weight of these expenses. The numbers in reports often do not reflect what people experience at the checkout counter, in rent payments, or when bills arrive. Life feels tighter, stress is higher, and planning for the future requires more effort than ever before. At the same time, people are adapting. They are finding creative ways to manage their money, make thoughtful choices, and focus on what truly matters. Small changes add up over time, and resilience becomes a crucial skill for navigating daily life. Understanding these realities is not about fear, but about awareness. It helps people make smarter decisions, protect their future, and see a path forward. Life in 2025 may be challenging, but knowledge and careful planning make it possible to survive and even thrive. Living in America in 2025 can feel overwhelming, but understanding the true cost of daily life gives you the power to make smarter choices. Every paycheck, every expense, and every decision matters more than ever. If this video helps you see the reality clearly, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss insights that can protect your finances and improve your daily life. Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us how you manage rising costs or adjust to new challenges. Your experience can inspire and help others facing the same struggles. Remember, small changes in awareness can make a big difference. Stay informed, stay prepared, and take control of your life one step at a time. The financial pressure on millions of Americans is growing fast. See what experts say could happen in the next year and how it affects everyone.